Alright guys, I just want to make this quick little response video talking about a recent TikTok clip that I posted for my podcast, and it's pretty much about the beauty about comic books compared to manga. Why do comic books succeed within this aspect compared to manga? And it was pretty much just about, hey, with comic books you could start wherever. Like, honestly, you could start wherever, and especially if you start from a new creative team's run, it doesn't have to be from necessarily issue 1. And what I mean by issue 1, I mean like all the way back then. You know, no one starts by reading Spider-Man from Amazing Fantasy 15. No one starts there. Everyone starts from a different starting point, and I think that that is the beauty about it. You could really jump in wherever and really get a good sense of who these characters are and really get a really good story for the most part. If you start from where a new creative team begins, you will definitely get a pretty good story out of it. So, you know, going into the comment that this user left, they said, that's actually one of the worst things about comics. There's no true canon when it's written by multiple people. How can you get a sense of a character if nothing is written the same? So, when it comes to that aspect, I mean, I think having different creative teams and different people, different artists, different writers, etc., jump onto a book is always exciting. I think that that is so much fun. That is one of the best things about comics, is that like you get these new visions and these new creators jumping onto a book, and they're able to reinvent the characters in certain aspects. I mean, that hasn't happened within like decades, I would say. That really worked, if you will. You know, I think back then when it came to Daredevil, when Frank Miller jumped on the book, you know, decades ago, he really reinvented that character, made Kingpin a mainstay villain, added Elektra, all of this other stuff, really made him the hero of Hell's Kitchen that we know today. That is such a cool thing about comic books, is that like there's so many jumping off points. And then when it comes to this thing about there's no true canon, I think that canon doesn't really matter. I think if the story is good, you should just read it. You should just check it out, see if you like it. I don't necessarily think that the overall canon of like everything going on in the universe is that important. Most of the time you could just read past it and really still understand what's happening. And people within comics today, they don't read everything. It's impossible to read everything and know everything. I think if you just want to get into a character and really find if it works for you, just read it. You know, comics are cool, manga's cool, you know, just read comics. I think that there is really no reason why manga readers shouldn't try out comic books or even give it a second shot if they already have. You know, just find a character that you might like, find a writer that you heard is pretty good at writing that character, and then go from there. I think that that is like the best thing about comic books, is that there's so many different jumping off points and many starting points that really anyone could get into this medium, and I think more people should, because comic books are cool.